Hi, everybody. It is July 10, 2019. Update on weather wars. I'll get to New Orleans in just 1 second. I will get to what, oh boy, it's really hard. The non-tropical storm, the non-hurricane, they don't exist, but they claim. Well, National Weather Service claims it's going to be a hurricane by Saturday. It'll be a tropical storm tomorrow. Oh, yeah, this is it. This is it. Okay, all right. What do you say? What do you say to this? A hurricane on Saturday. Huh. Well, was that just a frequency hit? Well, frequencies are going through it. Oh boy. Okay, this is the hurricane. This is Dallas, Fort Worth. What is happening to you guys? I tried to find out what's happening, but I can't find a friggin' thing, but it looks not good. It looks not good. All right. Arkansas, how are you doing? I can't believe how difficult it is to find information now. Look at this, we've not seen these bans. Look at this. I mean, okay. We've not seen these bans ever until the recent months, but now we see them all the time. Okay, this is Barry. Hello, Barry. I guess you need to do something to manifest yourself for us. But they don't have to manifest anything to bring about hurricane damage. So, I want to show you, it's Kearney, Nebraska.
Heavy rains have caused a lot of problems in the region this week. Cars were submerged in floodwaters in Kearney, Nebraska on Tuesday after heavy rain on Monday caused flash flooding. From Monday night to Tuesday morning, Kearney received more than 4 inches of rain. Kearney's police chief tweeted Tuesday that his officers assisted at least 25 stranded motorists overnight, towing 15 vehicles that were abandoned or stalled.
It's a very scary sight to look at right there.
That was like a whole mall pretty much underwater.
Yep.
Yeah. So no one's asking questions about this, huh? This is happening repeatedly. This is Kearney, Nebraska. Another town underwater. Unbelievable. Okay. And homes underwater. So this is just a glimpse of Kearney, Nebraska. Actually, this is not Kearney. This is near Kearney. It's near. So, how many other near Kearney towns were hit hard? Just yesterday. Is it Wednesday? Wait, no, I'm sorry. Monday. Okay, let's see. Kansas City, Missouri.
All right, look at this. Quick moving storm leads to flash flooding in the metro, surrounding drivers in water. Several had to be rescued. You can see that car almost fully submerged. 41 Action News reporter Andres Gutierrez joins us now live from North Shoto Trafficway near North Belmont Boulevard. Andres, what's the scene like there?
Well, Krista, the city has gone ahead and placed up these barriers after the fire department had to conduct 2 water rescues here. Despite that, drivers continue to go around these barriers. In the last hour, we have seen 2 other vehicles that have stalled out. They had to be towed away by Good Samaritans who've stepped in to help those drivers. Now, we do have cell phone video of one of those water rescues that did occur this morning. The workers from a nearby business were yelling at this driver not to go through that high water. One of those workers is Joe Tanner. We spoke with him shortly after that rescue, and here's what he told us.
Every time it rains that heavy thing, and the semis were coming through, and then here comes a lady in a 4-door coupe, and we knew doggone good and well she wasn't going to make it, and we told her, no, don't do it, don't do it. And she come about halfway through, it started floating, ended up.
Turn around, don't drown. We're seeing, okay, I know you know, guys. I know you know, but how is it that we can be seeing this kind of flooding taking place in so many, well, pretty much the eastern half of the country? And do you hear anybody talking about this kind of flooding? Because I don't. So, I don't. The only people I see are neighbors, and no, nobody's bringing anything up. And when I bring it up, I mean, it's like, how dare you bring up something serious to discuss? I want to talk about how I feel, and I feel miserable. And today, what did I hear? A neighbor who so wants to die. She just wants to die. She never feels well, but, you know, she eats horribly, and she sits in Wi-Fi, and her dog is limping, obese. And I'm in my car, I pull up, and I hear her laughing, and then she says, Gracie can't even run because she's so fat. Ha 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 ha. That's really funny. Yeah, that's my life. So how about you guys? Are you hearing anybody talking about this flooding? All right. Okay. This is the non-tropical storm, the non-existent hurricane, but Texas and Louisiana in particular are acting like there's a real hurricane. This is a very bizarre life we are living now. Very bizarre. This is the mayor of New Orleans.
Now is absolutely the time to pay attention. Heed every single warning that comes from the city of New Orleans, and as you listen to media outlets, pay attention to all tornado as well as flash flood warnings. Be prepared for the impacts. We know that we took on a lot of water this morning, up to 8 inches within 3 hours in some areas. Like Broadmoor took on about 7.5, Tremay took on about 8.42. Please continue to execute precaution. We ask that you begin to clean up post-flooding from this morning if possible.
College of DuPage. Do you see anything here? Okay. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But the emergency responders, you know, they're all acting like there's a massive hurricane sitting right outside New Orleans and prepare for impact.
And if you are a dialysis patient, please attend any last-minute appointments. Power outages are possible with this storm. People with electrically dependent medical equipment should call 311 to enroll in the city's special.
So make sure you use them cautiously in a metal container, away from any combustibles if you were to lose electricity and resort to that. Once again, the men and women in the New Orleans Fire Department train hard for this. They work very hard. I want to thank them for all that they do.
Louisiana National Guard is prepared and ready to respond within the state. We begin making statewide preparations. We've started pre-staging, pre-positioning our assets statewide. Here in New Orleans, we have 24 high water vehicles and 8 boat systems, as well as 2 aviation assets, helicopters.
Flood. That is critical. Although our contractors are continuing to work as scheduled at this time, they cannot access streets that are flooded. They may be able to pick up.
And also, just like my fellow council member said, please check on elderly and on your neighbors and shut-ins and make sure that the special need registry, you can offer them assistance in any type of event.
Pumps. We were over at optimum capacity as it's designed. It runs at 3 pumps. The 4th stands ready to replace one of the other 3 if it trips offline or whatever it goes off.
I will link below. You guys in this area, I would listen to it. Look, all of what they're talking about may very well manifest because they can manifest weather. They can bring about very intense. Look, we have these tropical storms and hurricanes happening on land. They just call them severe weather, right? We are seeing winds, hurricane winds with this severe weather, but they haven't called them a hurricane, and they're calling this a hurricane, and it'll be a hurricane by Saturday. So at tropical storm tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Well, what you gonna do, huh? Life really has just become, I don't know, what, a meaningless joke or something? But listen to what some of these people are saying now. New Orleans, the flooding occurred this morning, but you guys in this area, I've been searching. I want to know if you were hit with any more torrential downpours this afternoon. Now, it looks like there's no rain right now. Yeah, okay. But, well, let us know, please. But listen to what these people in New Orleans are saying.
Flood badly before, but you weren't expecting this morning.
No, not at all. We have had repeated floods though since August 5th, 2017, because of them raising the grade when they raised the streetcar tracks and also when they repaved Esplanade Avenue. And we've had problems since then.
And some of your neighbors are even seeing some water getting into their homes.
Yes, it is, and some of it's being pushed by trucks, and some of it is because their finished floor is low.
And that's something else.
Okay, so they are seeing this flooding since 2017 because of how they graded the street? Wow, okay.
I've been living here right after Katrina.
Right after Katrina. Have you ever, well, I know it flooded on Mother's Day, but has it ever been like this?
Never like this. I was staying 1425 during Katrina. And after Katrina, I moved around here. The water used to come, never came like this.
Never
I know
came like
it's them systems.
And I mean, a lot of your neighbors.
Different systems. Never came like this.
Are in the same predicament as you. They're stranded at their house right now.
Yeah, most of them is older. Like the older lady, she at work, she got stranded. She asked me to come get her. Told her I couldn't come get her. We stuck out.
And it seems like you guys are getting way more flooding on this side of St. Bernard Avenue than the other side.
Than the other side. Ain't it been like this? Girl, I'm gonna tell you, this only started this year because all other years it never happened like this.
Ah, interesting. Other years never happened like this. This year, it's happening like this. Could they be shutting down the drains?
Wise, so we could really invest in our city. So much money come to New Orleans and through New Orleans, and this is what we left with. We live with this. This is ridiculous. They look like Venice out here. Everybody need a boat or something. This is like sad. This is really sad.
And you're from New Orleans, and you've seen this happen before.
I see that, but before Katrina, this didn't happen. After Katrina, it flooded on a drizzle. This is ridiculous. We can't handle hurricane season. If a hurricane come now, what's gonna happen? We all stuck.
We do have a tropical storm that's on its way in just a few days. This isn't even from this.
This
is
not
just
a tropical storm?
No, this is just heavy rain from just hours of heavy rain today.
Wow, this is amazing. This is not New Orleans. This is New Orleans for real. This is not the New Orleans I grew up with. This is not it.
And you know, a number of the pumps are working. 118 of Sewage and Water Board's pumps are working right now, but you can tell it doesn't look like it's working in this area.
They can say it's working, but the proof is in the pudding.
And the proof is in the pudding. So, oh man, okay, please, bear with me, listen to what some of these meteorologists are saying.
Bracing for a hurricane, the National Hurricane Center predicts Tropical Storm Barry will form in the Gulf tomorrow and strengthen to a hurricane and make landfall this weekend. But as Mary Maloney explains, the storm system is already causing problems.
Big Easy walloped by wet weather.
Our car was halfway underwater.
Wow.
So there's about 6 inches of flooding in our car.
Flooding engulfed streets and transformed indoor stairs into waterfalls. During the flash flooding emergency, rescue crews in New Orleans responded to more than 250 emergency calls.
My door didn't want to open, so I had to find a way to get out the car. So I started the car back up, got out the window, rolled the window back up.
Water spouts formed in the sky, prompting a tornado warning. But the worst is yet to come.
We all need to take this very, very seriously.
A tropical system is churning in the Gulf of Mexico. The National Weather Center predicts Tropical Storm Barry will form by Thursday and strengthen to a hurricane by Saturday before making landfall.
We know it's going to be a big storm, a significant rain and storm surge event.
Louisiana's governor warns the already soggy state could see 10 to 15 inches of rain within 24 hours from Friday into Saturday.
That is a short time period for such intense rain.
As Texas's governor says, the Lone Star State should brace for the slow-moving storm.
If you prepare for the very worst, you will be able to come out far better in the end.
Mary Maloney, CBS 11 News.
And according to the National Weather Service in New Orleans, the Mississippi River is expected to crest at 20 feet Friday night into Saturday. Levees protect the city up to 20 feet in some places.
Oh, 20 feet, a crest at 20 feet, and the levees protect the city at 20 feet. Wow. Well, that sure would not make me feel comfortable. Okay, let's listen to this one.
Hi guys, meteorologist Alexandra Cranford in your local web.
By the way, they're tracking this hurricane from Georgia. I guess we're going to settle on Georgia, not Missouri, not the Midwest, but just Georgia, okay? Here's the tracking from Georgia into the Gulf. Okay. Why aren't meteorologists questioning this?
Weather expert forecast center, and we're talking very quickly tonight about potential tropical cyclone 2. So I'm going to get you guys a quick update on what's going on with that. It could eventually become tropical storm Barry, but has not developed yet, and just wanted to get you the latest on what we're seeing.
Okay, so she's saying it could, but you just heard a broadcast where they were saying it will be tropical storm Barry tomorrow and a hurricane on Saturday. It could develop, but it hasn't manifested yet. All right.
With it as of Wednesday evening after 7 p.m. Right now we are seeing it just south of the Florida Panhandle. Notice that it has emerged farther out over Gulf waters compared to yesterday for sure. And the center of the circulation is still not really looking very noticeably tropical. The depression kind of storm look to it really hasn't quite taken shape. In fact, you can see these rains that have spread over the New Orleans area recently, and those have been due to the upper level disturbance, not so much this actual surface low. So we're going to see whether we do eventually get some bursts of convection around it, some showers and storms wrapping around the center. But at this point, we're not seeing that right now. And hurricane hunters flew into the system earlier today, and they confirmed there isn't a closed low pressure center of circulation. So we're still tracking it. It's moving west-southwest at 8 miles per hour. There are some winds associated with it up to about 30 miles per hour.
You're tracking what? What is it that you're tracking here? You're tracking the cloud that was manufactured. Look at that nice straight edge. What are you tracking? She just said that, you know, there's no, there are no signatures of a tropical storm or a hurricane. So what are you tracking?
Per hour. And just to show you the latest forecast path from the National Hurricane Center, there will be a new one of these coming out at 10 p.m. So we'll let you know what that is on our 10 p.m. newscast on Channel 4. But you can see the general idea. The movement off to the southwest and then west, then maybe curving to the northwest as we get into Friday, and then possibly a landfall by Saturday somewhere toward the Louisiana-Texas state line or in western Louisiana. This particular path run has it just south of Lake Charles, maybe by that point. And again, over toward that part of the Gulf of Mexico there, and by that time, it looks like there will be very low level, low amounts of wind shear. There will be very warm Gulf waters. So that's why you can see the intensification predicted. Intensification, though, can go up or down depending. So that is not as...
Intensification can go up or down. So, hey, she looks at the camera, you know, kind of chuckling. So, whoa. In other words, what I'm saying in this broadcast is, I have no friggin' clue what the hell is going on. Have you ever seen a tracking come from Georgia and then go southwest and then west and then, oh, right, and into Louisiana? I feel sorry. I really feel sorry for us. I think that they're doing this just to see if Americans will respond to this. And, well, what do you think? I don't think they're capable of responding to anything. To anything. But this kind of stuff is kind of like, you know, it's like a gaslighting. You know, you look at this and well, I don't, but there have been, not with this particular thing, but there have been times when I've actually doubted my own self in terms of, okay, I know what a hurricane looks like, you know, just using this as an example, but yeah, you begin to like, okay, you hear these lies, you hear now, hurricane that's coming from Georgia, it will evolve in the Gulf, and this, I'm sorry, even though we have these experts tell us that, well, it's rare, but it's happened before. I'm sorry. Something... Maybe they'll just pull this all the way down and claim that it came in from the Gulf. They're still claiming tornadoes in Michigan and severe storms northeast, central plains, a 1,400-mile swath of severe storms. Where are they? I'm telling you, we are living in a manufactured reality that is so off base that it does require an awful lot of effort to remain sane. You've got these crossing beams and a whole lot of extremely low frequencies being set off here, Southern California. I don't, how do we, Dallas News, you never let me get in there. So I need to ask you guys, what's happening in Dallas and Fort Worth and Arkansas? Oil price jumps above $60 ahead of storm in Gulf of Mexico. And listen to this. Well, try to listen to it.
Investigating more cases of Legionnaires' disease tonight. Health officials report 2 people who live at 400 West 43rd Street, known as Manhattan Plaza, have recently been diagnosed. Residents are being given information on possible exposure and how to protect themselves. People who have chronic lung disease are most at risk, along those who have compromised immune systems.
So now we have Legionnaires' disease erupting in Manhattan. All right, look, I wish I could say something intelligent. I don't. You can't meet this with intelligence. It's just beyond something else. It's like, all right, well, just make shit up. Just, you know, don't you love it when people just make shit up? I've lived, you know, facing people who just make shit up. And now everything is just being made up, and it's really, it just renders life like meaningless. God. Well, I'll link below to everything. You guys, just because I'm saying that this has not manifested, it may not manifest, and they may just bring about an awful lot of destruction and claim it was a hurricane. You know, when you're hearing these meteorologists who clearly don't even know what to say. I mean, this woman, she's trying her best, but she doesn't know what to say. Well, it hasn't really manifested, and we don't really have any of the signatures for tropical storm hurricane. But you know, well, I get this is the script they gave me to read. When it gets this blatant, this obvious, they can do anything to us. They don't even have to put in the energy to create anything here. Just bring about the destruction and claim it was a hurricane, and that's it. That's all she wrote. No joke, guys. That's where we are now. Just say it was a hurricane. Just say it was a hurricane. We don't have to produce it or manifest it. We'll create the destruction. We'll bring about the torrential rains, you know, as we do with, you know, the clouds, and hit them with billion-watt lasers or however they do it. We'll bring about, you know, these sudden high winds. And, well, we know that Americans just don't think anymore, so we can do it. Just claim it was. End of story. Huh. This is what we're living. My God. All right, stay safe. Keep, yeah, prepare for the worst. Even though you don't see what they're talking about, prepare for the worst.